going on, guys? It is Aiden Hutchinson.
What's up, man? It's your boy Amon-Ra St. Brown.
What's up, everybody? It's Calvin Johnson Jr. here, a.k.a. Mega Shrine, a.k.a. First Ballot.
What's going on, Coach Dan at Lions Talk Live and the Duke Crew? This is Ball Hawk Ifeatu Melifonwu of the Detroit Lions. Everybody make sure you help support the YouTube channel Lions Talk Live by clicking that like and subscribe button. Let's get it and go Detroit.
Greetings and salutations to everyone out there in YouTube land. This is Dan Skipper, offensive weapon for the Detroit Lions. Make sure you all help support Lions Talk Live and Coach Dan by clicking on that like and subscribe button. Everybody, woo!
Well, greetings and salutations to everybody out there in YouTube land. I'm your host once again, Dan Thornton, and I want to thank you all for joining us here today. Hey, Wednesday, week off. We don't have a whole lot of breaking news unless something pops up or whatever that I guess is really going to catch us all off guard. But we do have some things we're going to dive into today's a couple topics. And yes, as you can tell from the thumbnail here within, some power rankings. We're going to do a little bit different, though. We're going to not only do the top 30-plus extra teams, whatever in the NFL, we're going to break down the offenses, the defenses, the whole shebang-a-bang. Try to get your guys' thoughts and takes on all this, see what you have to say about it. Again, trying to Scooby-Doo this, do something a little bit different. All right, before we get into that, though, as you guys probably know, if you haven't yet subscribed to Lions Talk Live, please consider doing so. We are 52 subs away from hitting the 8,100. So if you can help out with that, that'd be great. Also, if you got a free half second of time, it doesn't cost you a dang thing. Reach on down, hit that thumbs up button, hit that like button if you would. As you guys all know, it helps the channel out exponentially. Last but never least, if you are looking to buy or sell property anywhere in the great state of Michigan, give me a call or shoot me a text. You see the number on the screen, 269-998-2384. Let me see what I can do to make the process very easy for you, save you some money by cutting some costs, and you know what? Hey, try to get you that brand new property, that commercial property, vacant land, whatever it may be. Give me a call, shoot me a text. Let's have a quick conversation and see what I can do to help you out. We've got over 30 years in the industry, so I'll be able to shake and bake and probably help you find a few things maybe most other people cannot. All right, with all those formalities out of the way, let's go ahead and get into the first segment of the day. And as you probably know, that is 5 headlines now. All right, 5 headlines now. Let's do this. 5 questions with Lions offensive lineman Giovanni Manu. This is from Taking Roots, Hoops Skills, mlive.com. So there's a story from this outlet that they do go ahead and talk a little bit about Giovanni growing up. As most of you probably are aware, he was a basketball standout in high school and early in college before moving over into football and excelling there. I'll also say this, there's a lot of reports coming out of Detroit saying he's developing much faster than anticipated. Doesn't mean he's going to get into games this year. But once they drafted him, kind of projecting that by year 3, he'd be able to make an impact for the team. That might not be the case. Giovanni Manu, it could be a segue to another video later this week about the rookies. He is progressing and noticeably so. If you remember the preseason games, we talked a lot about that on air when we were broadcasting those games saying, hey, watch this kid, man. He's actually not performing badly. Now, he wasn't perfect, but if you remember when he came in, the raw amount of clay that he was, the upside was going to be tackle or guard, and then the preseason games happened, and what do you know? He was the left tackle. So that tells you Frank Haley sees him being a long-term potential replacement for Taylor Decker, or maybe just a sound backup who can play inside and outside on this team. But whatever you want to say, reading this article and talking to those in Detroit media, yes, Giovanni Manu might have been a very good pickup and one who is progressing faster than guessed. All right, snap count notes how Detroit Lions replace the injured Lions in Week 4. This is from Lions Wire, so let's go ahead and get over to the snap counts real quick and dive on into this. Most people probably would not have anticipated so many players getting into the game, and the fact that, did you all notice, we didn't elevate anybody from the practice squad for this game. Detroit played just 53 total offensive snaps. So let's also let that sink in. You scored 42 points on just 53 offensive plays. That's impressive. Is it as impressive as Jared Goff going 18 out of 18? I'm going to let you guys all debate that, but I will say, man, I can't remember the last time I've seen a team score that many points on so few offensive snaps. All right, Graham Glasgow switched from left guard to center and played every snap, so probably not a big surprise there. Okada, man, always kills last name Esquada, slid to the left guard spot and also went the whole way. Both guys, I would say this, it was probably, for Glasgow, his best performance of the season. I mean, I don't have pro football grades on him. We'll save that for tomorrow. But I would say just watching the game live and then watching the replay, he was much more sound. You could tell more comfortable. Maybe that's what I should say. Glasgow playing center than he was the left guard, but he is developing as a left guard. Ozwaka came in, played great. No complaints there. I thought he played great last year as a backup. Key, especially in run blocking, he does a very good job. Pass blocking, at least this game, looked a lot better than it did last year, so kudos to him. Extra tackle Dan Skipper was on the field for just 4 snaps, but it's become his role, kind of the power tackle or a tight end or whatever you want to call him. But then the jumbo packages that also include the jumbo packages. Parker Hess, who saw a total of 7 snaps. Top tight end Sam Laporta had no issues in playing 47 snaps. And you probably watched him in the game. You guys all said probably to yourself the same thing. It's the healthiest Laporta's looked all season. So he played every offensive snap -5. The same number as Amon-Ra St. Brown. So 47 snaps for him as well. Here's one for us, though. At receiver, Tim Patrick has a runaway with the number 3 receiving role. He played 21 total snaps to just 6 for Khalif Raymond. Running back Gibbs and David Montgomery were 30 and 21 respectively, with number 3 running back Craig Reynolds playing the final 2 kneel downs. So Sion Vaki didn't receive an offensive rep this game. So as far as Tim Patrick, let's start there. Tim Patrick has clearly been a big win for this team. We all went into the season wondering what the Lions were going to do at wide receiver. Were they going to have, Khalif Raymond really be the number 3? Not that we didn't think he couldn't do it, but I'd say at this point, the Lions wide receiver core is a lot deeper, strong than any of us anticipated in the preseason games. Both Allen Robinson and Tim Patrick, along with Khalif Raymond, really have shored this up. And we haven't even mentioned Isaiah Williams yet. So the Lions wide receivers appear to be in pretty good spot. All right, so with so few offensive plays, the defense was on the field a whole lot. We all get it. In the second half, they probably looked a little gassed and tired. Detroit's defense had 90 snaps, the highest of any team that won a game all year. Keep in mind that plays negated by penalty don't count. So Lions' defense was actually out there 99 plays if you add in the penalties. So that's a ton. On top of that, you had to replace Marcus Davenport, which was a bit of a chore for the team. Levi Onwuzurike got the Lions' share, see what I did there, with 56 reps. Though he moved around the formation, he was inside, he was outside, he played left and right side. I mean, they did a good job, I thought, trying to make the Seattle offensive line not be able to acclimate to whoever they were facing. John Pascal was also on the field for 53 snaps, and I thought he played real well for the second straight week. Maybe his best performance of his career, although that's debatable. I'd at least say what he did Monday night was in his top 5 games so far as a Lion. Pascal was on the field 53 snaps, which seems very high total until looking that Aiden Hutchinson was playing 78 snaps, which is 87% of the snaps. And so they did get him off the field a little bit, which I know we talked about a little bit on the show last year, this year. I just don't want to see him getting burned out. Last year, there was a stretch where he was over 90% of the defensive snaps. They just knew they couldn't get a pass rush anywhere else. James Houston had the biggest outing of the season for himself with 14 reps. But as we could do another video on that another time. James Houston, did you even notice him out there? That's the problem. I'll have to probably do a little bit more of a deep dive, maybe Sunday, since there's no game, and really analyze those snaps. Did he give us something? Did he give us nothing? We'll wait and see. All right, the linebacker department had to replace, as we all know, Derek Barnes, but they divvied it up across the board. They just didn't rely on one person. Malcolm Rodriguez, highest snap count of the season for him at 31. Ben Newman got 23. Jalen Reeves-Maben, 18. Trevor Nowitzki, 8. And Alex Anzalone was the only defensive player on the field for all 90 snaps. And he actually did get above that when you factor in the penalty snaps. And that's impressive since he was coming back from his concussion. Safety turned into the Joseph and Joseph show without injured Brian Branch. So both Josephs, we debated that, and yes, it did come to pass that Brandon Joseph would step in. And again, this kid has been trending upwards. His OTAs were off the charts. I thought the preseason was great for him, so kudos to him. But anyways, Kirby and Brandon Joseph played 89 of the 90 snaps at safety. Undrafted rookie Strickland only played on special teams. Cornerback Meek Robinson played 52 snaps in the slot, and Kendall Vildor got 5, while rookie Enos Rakestraw got 1. The only people other to get on the field at the cornerback spot were Terrion Arnold at 84 snaps, Carlton Davis at 88. So both of them had brief moments to get off the field. So that's it for your snap count. What say you? I think it's pretty telling that we all debate with Arnold having some penalties, and yes, he grabs too much, etc. But still, the Lions coaching staff, and this is from MC, DC, Aaron Glenn, etc., they all clearly think he's the second best corner on the team, or at least, how about this, a starting cornerback on this team, because he does play well. And I know I talked about it a little bit on yesterday morning show. If you take out the penalties from him, I actually think that might have been, I don't know if I'd say it's his best game because of the Arizona game, the second, third, and fourth quarters. Man, he did play incredibly well, I thought, for a rookie. But yes, I thought outside the penalties, he played very, very well on Monday Night Football. All right, so with that lengthy 5 headline out of the way, let's get to the next one. Royal Oaks teacher decorates classroom in Detroit Lions theme like you've never seen. The Detroit Free Press by Alyssa Robinson. So and this story's been out for a couple days. I just figured since it is a little bit slower time with the off week, we get to this weekend, you'll start seeing news stories pick up a little bit more. But yes, this Royal Oak teacher has decorated her entire room, Super Bowl or bust, Lions gear. You want to Google the story, check it out, go ahead. But it's impressive how big of a Lions fan she is. And, of course, being over in the Royal Oak community, you're close to Detroit. Probably a lot of the kids are as well. All right, Jared Goff. Stats today, Lions quarterback makes history with perfect day versus Seahawks. This is from USA Today, story by Jacob Kamaker. Boy, I'm going to kill that one, so apologies for that. But he does dive into what really will happen with all the different records that Jared Goff got into on that game. So let's dive into this real quick. I won't make this try not to make this a long one. Despite his 18 for 18 throwing performance against the Seahawks, let this sink in. Jared Goff is not considered the best completion percentage in an NFL game. In fact, he's not even in the top 5. And you're going to say, how can that be? The dude completed 18 out of 18. He can't do better than that. It's because the NFL wants at least 20 passes to be attempted in order to make it into that mark. So number one would be Drew Brees in 2019. He completed 96.7%. Phil Rivers, Los Angeles Chargers, 96.6%. Marcus Mariota, I was surprised to see his name on here. 2018, 95.7%. Brock Purdy, 49ers, 95.2%. That was in last year. And then Gardner Minshew, 95% in 2020. So again, I get, Goff, he completes 2 more passes. He's in the list, but I thought it was kind of odd that they didn't consider his percentage one of the all-time greatest. So is what it is. Passer rating, I know we talked about this yesterday. He was 2.5 points shy of a perfect game, although I'm not really sure, and nobody has been able to explain to me. If anybody knows in the comments section, let me know how he could not have had a perfect game. And again, what is a perfect passer rating? Completion percentage, yards per attempt, touchdowns per attempt, and then interceptions per attempt. So again, I'm not really sure what they're looking for there. To me, he played a perfect game. You couldn't ask him to do more than 18 out of 18. So, is what it is. All right, and then the last of the 5 headlines now. Longtime Lions beat reporter Dave Burkett pens new book, quote, Detroit Lions, an illustrated timeline. This is from WXII of Detroit. And yes, if I haven't ever checked out any of Burkett's other books, but if you want a history of the Detroit Lions, go for it. You know what? Might be a nice, coffee book or whatever, coffee table book type thing to have. So go check it out. All right, with all those out of the way, let's get to the next segment of the day, and that will be your power rankings. All right, so we're going to have a little bit of fun with this. Let's start off with the defensive side. We're going to go from worst to first in this, and basically just I've come up with a list to try to break it on down. Who's the worst team in the league when it comes to defense? Who's the best team? And, just kind of go from there. Lions, I'm going to give you a spoiler right now before we get into this segment. They are not going to be number one. So sorry for that, but yes, they are not the number one defense in the league as of yet. All right, are you ready for this? Here we go. Number 31, Jacksonville Jaguars. Got to go back one more. Number 32, Arizona Cardinals. Last week they were 21. This week they're number 32. Next, we've got, hold on. Got a little glitch here. Things glitch sometimes in the mornings. All right, Jacksonville Jaguars. They're going to move up to 31. Next, we've got Carolina Panthers at 30. Dallas Cowboys, 29. Then we're going to have Philadelphia Eagles at 28. Next, we got the Seattle Seahawks at 27. I did have to document. I know they came in as potentially a top 5 defense or whatever you want to say in the NFL. But again, I think we all get it. The quarterbacks that they faced in those first couple of games were not very strong nor solid. And so I didn't want to overblow their stats and put them in my rankings as a top 5, top 10 team. So I had them at last week, number 19. I did drop them to 27 this week because, let's be honest, the Lions shred them apart. And if the Lions didn't score so quickly on them in the second half, they probably would have had a lot more first downs, completions, et cetera, et cetera. But the Lions moved the ball incredibly fast. Anybody who was worried about the Lions' second half offense, well, you know what? We, at least for a night, Monday Night Football, we put that to rest. All right, 26. We got the Los Angeles Rams. We've got at 25, the Miami Dolphins. 24, the New England Patriots. And again, those who are catching us as we're in the middle of this is for the defensive rankings, not for the team rankings. This is just the defensive rankings. Number 23, the Las Vegas Raiders. 22, we got the New York Football Giants. 21, Tennessee Titans. 20, Cincinnati Bengals. Yeah, and the Bengals need to get right on defense pretty quick. If they don't win some more games, I get everybody and their mother is going to be on here wanting a video on, are we trading for Trey Hendrickson to be our other defensive end? I don't see it happening. I think the cost would be too high. But, man, if we pulled it off, I'm not going to lie, that'd be very impressive for our defensive front. All right, continuing down the list now, Detroit Lions, I'm going to have them at number 19, and I would have had them higher than this. You're going to say, what the heck, Dan? But, yes, the fact that you gave up 400 yards passing, you gave up a NFL record, most amount of first downs in a game. I had to dock you pretty heavily for it. Aiden Hutchinson, he had 10 pressures in the game, didn't get any sacks, but he got there. He got some hits on him, and so did the defensive line. But they also allowed Geno Smith to get out of the pocket, scramble around, and complete a gajillion passes. So we talked about it in the postgame show. We talked about it yesterday morning. Yesterday was the first time I thought the defense really looked like last year. They did make some great plays, and I'm not taking anything away from them. Those 2 turnovers they got are really the difference in the game, so give the defense some credit. But they're also going to have to find a way to shut down teams with multiple wide receivers. Because you know what? In our own division, we've got, we got Minnesota, we got Justin Jefferson, and all those guys, and they don't even have T.J. Hockenson yet. When they get him out there, he's going to be a problem. The offense is going to be a matchup problem for us until some of these younger guys kind of develop a little bit more. The Lions safeties, I'll still say this, and yes, we didn't have Brian Branch for the game. I still say Brian Branch, Kirby Joseph, they're arguably the top 3, maybe the number 1 safety combo in the NFL. All right, continuing down the list, Buffalo Bills, number 18. I had them as a top 5 defense until last week. Now, not so much. Let's see, Green Bay Packers, number 17. Their defense also are going to take a hit after what happened against Minnesota this past week. All right, moving down the list a little bit more. Cleveland Browns. Now, you want to talk about a trade opportunity for the Detroit Lions. This is what I'm going to take a moment to pause and talk about this one. I've got them as number 16, and I think anybody who watches their defense says their defense is loaded with guys who can play. Myles Garrett, could he actually get traded out of there? I don't know. I think it would take a king's ransom because the dude is a beast. But the Cleveland Browns have to face some realities. They didn't do anything with that defense in the playoffs last year. They're not doing anything with it right now. They've given up a king's ransom for their quarterback. And at some point, they're going to have to say, if we can't get this right quickly, it's time to blow up the ship and start all over, at least in my opinion. Washington Commanders, number 15. It's Indianapolis Colts, number 14 defense. And Atlanta Falcons, number 13. The New York Jets, number 12. Minnesota Vikings, number 11. Let's see, we've got the Chicago Bears at number 10. Let's see, Houston's. I still like that defense, even though Will Anderson, he's had a little bit of a down season so far this year, but a lot of season left for him to kind of kick on the Jets and turn it around. Houston at number 9. Let's see, we've got the Los Angeles Chargers at number 8. And continuing down the list, Tampa Bay Buccaneers, number 7. We've got the 49ers at number 6. Yeah, they might be beat up on offense, but you know what? That defense isn't bad by any stretch. All right, Pittsburgh Steelers, number 5, even though they didn't have a great week last week, in my opinion. Let's see, keep it on the list here. Baltimore Ravens, number 4. Let's see, the Denver Broncos, number 3. Their defense has really emerged in the last 2 weeks. That's why they're so far up on this list. And again, you got to look at it as a whole. You got to look at all the games played, but their defense is legit, in my opinion. New Orleans Saints, number 2, and then the Kansas City Chiefs at number 1. And again, anybody just joining, this is not anything more than the defensive rankings. So keep that in mind. All right, now let's go to the overall power rankings for the team, and these are the team rankings. So we're going to get into that right now after this. And yeah, guys, sometimes I play those just so I can get a little bit of water in my throat because it does dry up. All right, so drum roll, please. Number 32 team, the 32nd team in the NFL as of this week is going to be the Jacksonville Jaguars. And I don't think it's close. The Jags, man, if they don't get some wins in a hurry here, I think you're going to see ownership blow up everything and just start on over. Yeah, they've got problems across the board. They need to get right in a hurry. Number 31. Talk about teams that we're just talking about that maybe need to be blown up. That's the Cleveland Browns. They've got an incredible array of talent on the defensive side of the ball. Unfortunately, they just aren't getting wins. Miami Dolphins, number 30. And again, Tua's not out there. They need a quarterback in the worst way. I don't think the Detroit Lions are going to help him out by giving or trading him Hendon Hooker. Maybe somebody else makes a trade for him. If I'm Tua, though, I've got to be thinking about retirement. I hope for his sake, not as a football fan or anything else, I hope he shuts it down and just moves on with the rest of his life. He's got the cash. I get he's got the desire to still play, but you know what? You don't want to be the punched up old boxer sitting in a wheelchair at 40 years old and can't remember anything. All right, 29 Tennessee Titans. Will Levis might have got a win, but you know what? There's still a lot of things I don't like about this team. 28, we got the New England Patriots. 27, the Giants, and yes, and the Giants. Hey, they might have let Barkley go, but they just can't run the ball. They're getting something stupid like a yard per carry. It's just not a great offense. It's not a great team. They've got some nice pieces, but they're a long way away from being relevant. Talking about teams that might be selling sooner versus later, and that is the Las Vegas Raiders. I got them at number 26. And yes, Devontae Adams is on the chopping block. He's finally been given permission to potentially find a trade partner for him. Where he would go, we'll have to wait and see. Carolina Panthers, man, since they've made the switch, they're actually not looking bad at the switch at quarterback. They're at 25. Los Angeles Rams, hey, they had another chance to beat a team. They had another chance to lose, and they did lose. Matthew Stafford, we all get it, the former Lion. He did what he could, but you know what? He still had a fumble. He should have had 2 picks. One was ruled an incomplete pass, basically. And then, yes, with a chance to drive down the field and win the game, he threw perhaps not his best pass ever. So they're at 24. Arizona Cardinals have fallen to 23. Dallas Cowboys, 22. Keep it on the list here. Chicago Bears. They got a D, and this is my problem when they took Caleb Williams. You invested. I get Lions fans would all wanted to have Sweat here in Detroit. I get it. But you know what? They're needing more a la Caleb Williams in order to be relevant. In another year or two, every year that passes, some of that defense is going to start aging a little bit, including Sweat, who's, didn't come in as a rookie to the Bears. So you've got a guy that's probably going to need some time to develop. against a defense that's playing at its peak now, that's probably going to start peaking down in the next season or two, especially if they can't stay relevant in the race. Right now, they're 2-2, though, so they have a chance. See, Cincinnati Bengals at 20, Jets at 19, Denver Broncos 18, Los Angeles Football Chargers. Yes, I like to call them the University of Michigan to the west. They're at number 17. New Orleans Saints 16, Colts 15, Seahawks 14. And they did have a monster game against us. It just, thankfully it wasn't enough. Let's see, Houston Texans 13, Green Bay Packers 12, Philadelphia Eagles 11, Atlanta Falcons 10, Washington Commanders 9, Pittsburgh Steelers number 8, San Francisco 49ers 7, Tampa Bay Buccaneers number 6, Buffalo Bills number 5. I got the Detroit Lions. I thought about putting them as number 2, but I'm splitting hairs here. I'm going to put him at number 4. Baltimore Ravens 3. Minnesota Vikings. Hey, we got a chance to knock them down quite a bit in about a couple weeks here. Minnesota Vikings number 2. And then, yes, the Kansas City Football Chiefs are your leaders of the power rankings at number 1 overall. So there you go. You got the defense and overall team rankings. I'll do the offensive rankings next week. I didn't have enough time to update everything, and sorry, I've got something. Hopefully, I didn't mute anything. And no, it's I'll Phil, I got something from you, but I'll talk to it later on with it. So, all right, there we go. Enough of that. Now let's get over the Duke Crew and see what you guys have to say as we're shaking and baking this morning. See, we got a lot of stuff happening in the Duke Crew. All right, scrolling on up to the top. We got all working towards the top. All right, let's see. Michael, greetings, salutations, Coach and Duke Crew, exclamation points. Superdome, Super Bowl, one pride, woo, woo, and good morning to you too. Jason, I was pleasantly surprised at the Pro Football Network's number 1 ranking. While others put us in the top 4, the league knows we are good, despite our injuries. Superdome or bust. Yeah, and you could definitely make the argument the Lions are the number 1 team in the NFL based on strength of schedule, the whole shebang, overcoming injuries, whatever you want to say. I'm just, I probably docked this a little bit down in my list just because I didn't want to be too big of a homer or whatever. But the Lions, you're really splitting hairs, I think, on the list between where I have them at number 4 and number 1, the Chiefs. The only thing you could say, obviously, with the top 2 teams is they haven't lost yet. But as far as just really what is a good team and what isn't a good team, I'd say, man, the Lions are as good as anybody right now, especially if that offense really continues to click like we saw on Monday night. See, Bo, good morning, Duke Crew. We've got the power, 100%. I see Super Bowl. Woo! And good morning to you too, Bo. Moonscar, good morning, Duke Crew. Starting lineup, exclamation point. I hope everyone finds themselves in good health today as the season changes to cold weather. Yes, it's getting a little bit colder out there. My kind of weather. Clark, time for us to become the biggest threat in the NFC to every other team. And you might be right. We might already be that guy. We might already be that team. The biggest powerhouse out there. It's no disrespect to any other team, but right now, the Lions are looking pretty dang good. I'd say, Matthew, greetings and salutations. Good morning, everyone. Superdome, Super Bowl. Woo, woo, woo. Sheila Lakes a woo in the fresh morning dew. Yes, she does. You ask, you shall receive, my friend. And now, there you go. Let's see, Eddie, what do you got? Greetings and salutations, Coach and Crew. Heal everyone up because after that, we've got a 3-game stretch of big games that need big wins. Yeah, we do. We got Dallas, we got Minnesota, we got Green Bay. That's coming out of the gates there. And then once you got was it Tennessee right after that as well. So you've got a stretch there. If the Lions can go 3-0 in that stretch, man, you are really setting up a strong possible run for the NFC North again, let alone the number 1 seed. If you go 3-1 in there, you're leaving the doors open, I guess, somewhat for somebody else. But hey, we'll wait and see. 1 game at a time, I like to say, my friend. Stephanie, good morning, boys. Exclamation point. How about those Tigers? Question mark. Let's have a great opportunity to really push for that top spot in the NFC after this week. Yeah, after the week off. And you're right, the Tigers, man, I know they got the 3-0 lead early in the game, then held on. Astros scored a run in the bottom of the 9th. But, they held on to win. Now, I believe if they win the next game, they're done with the series because I want to say it's the best out of 3. All right, Trey, what's good all? Question mark. Does anyone think we tried to go for Adams now that he has the okay to leave Vegas? Devontae Adams? Can you imagine him in this offense? But Tim Patrick, I think, to be honest, is doing a great job. The problem I think you have, Trey, if you add somebody of Devontae Adams' caliber, I mean, would the offense be nearly unguardable to most defenses? Yes. But you've already got an emerging Jameson Williams. You already got St. Brown, Laporta, and like I said, Tim Patrick. You got Gibbs, Montgomery. Can you feed all those people enough times to keep them satisfied? Plus, what's it going to cost to get them out of there, too? That's the other part. What you have to give up for draft capital, plus with the contract. I don't know, but it's nice to at least dream about it. Jason, that ninth inning was so stressful. Exclamation point. Go Tigers. Go Lions. 100%. And I didn't really watch it. I listened into it a little bit between showings because I had to go to Hastings. Then I had one in Gull Lake and then all over the place. So I had a little bit of drive time in between showings. And I was listening to it a little bit. Robert, greetings and salutations. Back at you, my friend. Tori, what do you got? Good morning, Duke Crew. Tigers need to shut them out and shut them down today. Yeah, get it on done. Is today the next game? I guess I honestly didn't know, but hopefully they just get it done. That'd be a heck of a thing and continue the turnaround. Let's see, Robert, all 22 films study on golf was amazing. I'll have to check that out, and thank you for that. Hatman, good morning, Dan and Duke Crew. Got my coffee sitting in my stand waiting for you and the big buck this morning. Can I get a woo? You know what? You want a woo? We'll give you a woo and try to keep it to one so we don't disturb your surroundings. All right, and there you go. Just great salutations, y'all. Coach, I don't know how you do this every morning. I feel like I can barely walk this time of day, let alone talk. Hey, man, it just becomes a habit after a while. You know, you wake up, you get used to it. Not a big thing. Bo, what do you got? Tom Grisari's power rankings are hilarious. I might not agree with him, but he's fun. I'll have to check that out. And good morning to you too, my friend. France, good day, everyone. So what would we all say is our biggest weakness on this team? Question mark. I believe we still need another DN, but who can we get? I'd say that's about the biggest question that pops in my mind. I mean, I don't think you can really get another DB who's going to come in soundly, at least not unless you're willing to really overpay. But the same might be true with the defensive end spot. I just don't know who's available and at what cost. We're all going to talk about, hey, Max Crosby. We're all going to talk about Hendrickson. We're going to talk about probably 40 other guys that are, quote unquote, the rumor mill that they're on the market. It's just, can he get them? Does Brad Holmes really try to give up enough to acquire that person? I guess that's $1 million question. We'll have to wait and see. We've still got about 6 weeks until the trade deadline, so probably going to be a whole lot of rumor mill in that time. Okay, top of the morning, coaching the Duke Crew, Super Bowl and no bust. Oh yeah, I'll go with that. And good morning, AJ. Good morning, everyone. Duke Crew or bust? I'll go yes, and back at you, Dennis. Good morning, Dan and the Duke Crew. Good morning to you too, Dennis. Hopefully, it is a phenomenal day. I see you are cracking down on Broski. Yeah, it's not a big deal. Just Broski, I think we all love him or whatever. Sometimes he just gets a little out of hand. He's got to remember this is a Lions channel, not, hey, come in here the day after a win and try to put down your team channel. That's not going to fly, man. All right, Robert, greetings, Hat Man. Hope you are hunting today. I'll go with that. See, Papa, going to be a great going to be a slow next several days for Lions news. Coach, how do you run a show when there is no news? Just I guess one thing you learn being a reporter for decades or whatever, there's always an off season. You still have fans that want to hear about their team. You still got to find stories, new takes on things. It's just part of being a journalist or reporter. So you find stuff. So today we did the power rankings. Tomorrow we'll do other stuff to keep you guys engaged and entertained, because really once you get past Sunday, now it just goes back to being a normal week. Quentin, greetings, salutations, y'all. Anyone heading out hunting? I'm guessing Hatman is. Let's see, Voltron Force. I think everyone liked Broski. He just gets out of hand at times. Yeah, I'd say that's fair. Takes things over the top. That's a little true there. A little true. Hatman, Robert Yankee. Yes, sir. Had 2 nice bucks come in literally 10 minutes after I left the stand last night. Talk about timing. They were watching you. Somebody was watching you indeed. See, David, looks like Dallas will be without Lawrence for our game. Going on the IR, not sure about Parsons playing. Parsons, I think, has a high ankle sprain, if I'm not mistaken. So if he plays, he's probably going to be limited. So just because I think anybody who's been in sports knows you get a high ankle sprain, that can take like a month. Sometimes it takes longer to recover from that than it does an actual break in the bone. So yeah, I wouldn't anticipate he'd be 100%, but maybe I'm wrong. Maybe he's a fast healer. Maybe he's a Frank Ragnow. Moonscar, Hitman, a quiet woo for you as requested. May you rack a wide eye and bounty of points. There you go. There you go. Let's see. Does anyone know what the coaches and players do during the off week? Players probably took off right after the game Monday night, and then they had a couple days. They'll have basically like 3 or 4 days where they can just go out on vacation, go get away, whatever, heal up. The coaches, they stick around. Typically, there's no firm rule. Typically, they're there Tuesday, Wednesday. Then they get like Thursday, Friday, Saturday off. They got to return to the offices on Sundays. Now, they might have to do some other work still, whether they're on vacation or whatever, but they can at least take like a mini, couple day vacation. Hookadoo, yeah, Dennis, tech coach, and a few moderators sent Broski to the principal's office. Yes, we did. So, Jason, which players on the IR do you see coming back healthy for the Dallas game, and who remains? I think the only ones who would be eligible, Jason, would be, Kaminsky, Broderick Martin, that are on IR, unless there's somebody I'm not thinking of. But I think those are the ones that I think would hit the required time frames at this point. See, Jedi Sith, what do you got? Good morning, Duke Crew, back at you. Hetman, double thank you, Moonscar Blade. You demand. All right, there we go. Phil, woo! And good morning to you too, Phil. Broski, I said nothing but facts yesterday, and Dan got upset, and Don cowardly blocked me. Don is the biggest troll known to man. He's been trolling Bears chats every day for years. Okay, Broski, let's just dive into this. So what I got on you about is the day after Lions when you come in here and try to say, well, you only won because the other team had injuries. Yet you don't bring up, how about our injuries? Also, this is a Lions chat, not a Bears chat. You want to chat about the Bears? Go to a Bears chat. It's really that simple. It's when you come in and keep throwing stones. I mean, you throw one and just kind of calm down, that's fine. The fact that you're in here over and over on some days, some days you're great. There's other days, man, you just come on out, and it's like you've got all this pent-up energy and just got to get off your chest. And I don't mean this in a bad way, man, but you're like the kid that you know the rules, but you just can't help but break the rules. So what do you want? I've told you this time and time before. This is not a Bears chat. You don't bring up, hey, how about Will Levis? If he doesn't throw you the game-winning touchdown, you guys don't win that game. How about, your Matt Stafford win? If you don't play a decimated Rams team, do you have a second win? Probably not. So that's my problem with it. Your logic doesn't make a lot of sense because you're complaining about us getting wins in the same manner you got wins. So, Broski, if you can name a team in the NFL that doesn't play another team without any injuries, let me know because it doesn't happen. Broski, Lions fans need to toughen up. The fact that you're in here complaining about Lions fans in a Lions channel, who needs to toughen up? That would be my thought. All right, Phil, stop, Broski, or I'll do it now. 100%. Hatman, that was a little loud there, Phil. Phil, this is a debate chat. Mean reads the chat. Yes, I do read the chat. So there you go. Dennis, go Lions. Detroit D, greetings and salutations. Everyone, back at you, my friend. Hopefully it is a great one. The non-laughers, Trade Tipton. I think they are happy with what Patrick is doing. I think they will look at defensive end for any trade. Yeah, Patrick, man, he's been a great pickup for us. I don't think anybody, even the most cautious Lions fan, can look at what he's doing and say, yeah, we really need to go get another wide receiver. Now, if Devontae Adams came in on a 1-year rental for maybe like a non-conventional 7th-round pick or something like that, fine, go ahead and take him. But if he's coming out here expecting to be the number 1 receiver, that's probably also the problem. I just don't see it happening. I'm thinking the Lions, if they were to address something, sort of like you're saying, non-laughers, it's probably not going to be wide receiver. I could be totally wrong, though. Mike, good morning, Duke Crew. Let me get a Sheila. You want a Sheila? Man, everybody loves a Sheila. Oh, Sheila. How about that? Broski, I know Moonscar Blade understands where I'm coming from, okay? Dennis, skip the Bears, Broski Bear. You don't like it, leave. That is also true. Nobody is forcing you to be here to listen to the Lions. See, Phil, Broski, this is not a debate. You either follow the rules or you're out of here. Fair enough. Hardy, I got so tired of the national media praising Geno Smith and mentioning all their missing players, but no Jared Goff plus our 6 missing players. Yeah, I know I did a little bit of video on it yesterday, but if you just go through the list, and if I miss someone, apologies. You guys can throw it out in the comment section. But just start with the secondary. You're out Brian Branch, you're out Iffy Melifano. Defensive line, you're out Davenport, you're out Broderick Martin, you're out John Kaminsky. So that's 5. Now Derek Barnes, 6. And again, there may be somebody else, but that's over half of a defense. Yet I don't see Broski or anybody else really talking about that. A couple of places did mention Frank Ragnow, and I get that. But so there's 7 guys that I'm readily thinking of, and there's probably others I'm not. So that's 7 players we're missing. That's on a game day 57-man roster. That's quite a bit. Let's see, Big D. Morning, brothers and sisters. One pride, baby. Detroit versus everyone. I agree with that 100%. Dennis, one pride. Motown Mitch. You sure about that, Phil? Okay, because I feel like it is. All right, I'm not sure what it is. All right, let's see, Hardy. Bye, Broski Bear. Broski Bear, Phil, I would like to know what rules I broke. Please explain. I stick to talking about Lions and stating okay, I'm just going to say this, Broski. I've covered this with you. It's that you come in here taking shots at Lions, trying to put down the Lions. I'm not going to make this a Broski Bear show. You want to come in, talk about the Lions, that's fine. But don't come in here and try to bash the Lions. That's not going to work on a Lions show. All right, John, good morning. All hope as well. Same with you, John. Let's see, Motown Mitch, Lions rule, Bears rule. Yes, they do. Broski, chat room is here for discussion and debate. Phil showing is, okay, that right there. Trying to be rude like that, man, Broski. You got to move on from that, man. So, hey, got to put you in a timeout. All right, moving on now. All right, Bo, 44 degrees on my morning sorghum. Fall is here. Football weather. Yes, it is. Phil, you asked for it. I would agree. Let's see. I feel like I missed a few here. Well, anyways, we'll try to make up for it. Been debating here before you're seeing you here, Phil. Okay. Phil, let's see. Lions only. No debate about it. No trolling. Why do you come here? Yeah, keep it up. There you go. Sarge, good morning. Dan and Croup, back at you. Let's see. Big D. That Manu is one big boy. Buy for the biggest O-line man we got. Let that sink in. Yes, agreed. Yeah, he's a big dude. And again, I get why the Lions traded up to get him. I get his potential. And in fact, if he really does develop as quickly as he is, then maybe next year he is on the Lions starting offensive line. If nothing else, a very sound backup for him. But if he goes in, who do you take out? I guess that would be the big question. Bo, we already got that one. Sorry, my bad. John, Thunder and Lightning, I'll go with that. See, Motown Mitch, debate if this guy was going to make it. Debate if that guy would be cut. Debate if Goff is good or not. If Williams will be the next busting QB for the Bears. Yes, I'll go with that, 100%. See, Dennis, yes, Bo, that'll go. Bo, Skipper is the Detroit Lions offensive weapon, the master of the woo. Yes, his woo is legendary status. Dave Main, what do you got? Go Lions, 100%. Good to see you, my friend, this morning. Hopefully having a great day. Phil, not my show. It stands rules. No more debate about it. Hey, there we go. End the debate. Al, what do you got? No complaints, but J-Mo needs more passes thrown his way. He is open often. Even when Amara threw to Goff, J-Mo is wide open. Yeah, it's tough to keep everybody happy, but, so far what I can say is J-Mo seems pretty happy with what he's getting, and I'm guessing there will be games this year where he probably does get more and more targets. It just, hey, he can't throw the ball to everybody on every play. See, Henry, good morning, Coach and Duke crew. I am impressed with the D-line and crew. Nothing like last year. Looking forward to Dallas. Yeah, that's going to be a good game. And on the road, man, if we get that win and then come back, win against Minnesota and Green Bay, man, that would be a heck of a stretch for us. John, Dan, it's been a while. Hey, good to see you. Good to see you, John. And yes, it has been. The Big D, Al, I agree. J-Mo needs the ball much more than currently getting. Yes. And again, it's tough because you got to get everybody the ball, right? See, Motown, yeah. Do believe we do debate in this chat pretty often in here. So go ahead and block me to Phil if you don't have a man in your family. Okay. I think we all do have a lot of good debates in here. Michael, guess every time Lions win a game, it's because their team's injuries. Yeah, it's funny how that goes, right? Motown and AI approved. It comes on Phil still here. Yes, Phil is here. Correct. Big D for 90 snaps. D played great. Yeah, the second half, and I know we talked about it after the game. We talked about it yesterday. They were just out there so much in the second half. I think that's why they really did get fatigued. I get Aaron Glenn wants to play mostly man-to-man defense. He used a lot more zone in that second half because I think they were getting a little fatigued and worn down. He knew they couldn't keep integrity in a lot of the man-to-man schemes. But give him credit. I mean, you face a lot of adversity. You overcame the adversity. So that's what I'd like to say as a coach. All right, Motown, man, the chat has gone downhill like a well-installed plumbing system. Okay, I'll go with that. See, John, seems like it's going to be a bloodbath on here today. Yeah, let's hope not. Let's hope not. Bo, seems to me Houston was used on the left side, on the side of the defense. I thought he did okay. Yeah, again, I'll have to do a breakdown of all of his game tape. I'll do that maybe on Sunday. Scar, well, I left the chat for a few minutes. I see I missed a lot. It happens, man. You miss a minute, you miss a lot. All right, chat, Chris, Kreisky, there we go. Kreisky, I see what you did there, Shaft. Let's see. Broski, let's see, Hookadoo, you deserve your post for a few minutes. Moonscar, go ahead. You deserted your post for a few minutes. Shaft Kreisky, there we go. Let's see, Michael, those aren't my words. It's from the clowns on the other team's fan bases. Okay, yeah, it happens, man. I mean, can't keep everybody happy. I'd say Motown, hey, Broski, what team has your Bears beat that's over 500? That's a good question. See, John, what's wrong with you, Broski? Broski just doesn't seem to be very happy that the Lions are winning games. So I guess that's a good way to look at it. Dennis, I'll go with that. Not a team at all. The non-laughers, would the safety cause those spouts off for your Goff's perfect game? I don't know. I don't really know. Could the safety have caused the points off his perfect game? I don't think so. But to be accurate non-laughers, I don't really know because I don't know how much they would weigh that in. It's possible, but I don't really think that would have anything to do with a passing performance. But maybe you're spot on. Maybe that's what knocked it down. Good call on that, my friend. Very good call. See, Moonscar, nothing wrong with stating stats, Broski. I would say my advice is state it once and move on. Everyone don't overreact to it, and Dan should be fine with it. Yeah, you state it once, that's fine. I don't have a problem with that. But when you keep piling on a topic, it just kind of gets old, man. How about that? Sarge, I think he is jealous. It could be, man. Could be. One Funky Broski, dude, that all you've said in multiple different chats. Meanwhile, your squad squeaks by a seriously beat-up Rams team, and the Titans, a team that will be drafting top 5. Yeah, there's that too, I suppose. Shaft, go to a Vikings fan show and cry Ski Bear. Okay. Hookadoo, I'm holding my tongue, Moonscar Blade. All right. One Funky, Goff didn't have a perfect QBR because of average depth of targets, and he averaged less than 4 yards a throw. Team had 230 yards of yak. That's all it comes down to. Okay, thanks for that, One Funky. Thank you very much for that. Bo, all I hope for is the defense is to get better than last year. A lot better. Whatever the rankings, I think they're on track. Seattle has had our number, and they did enough to win. Yes, yeah, correct. We got what we needed out of the defense in order to get the win. Moonscar, Motown Mitch, glad to see you are back. I hope you went back and understood my warning last week. It had nothing to do with you saying Lions rule, Bears drool. It wasn't anything about reacting to Broski. No, I think we're all good there. So Motown's usually a pretty good dude in the chat. Yeah, he's always on the Lions rule, Bears drool. Let's see, Dimitri, good morning, Dan, the Lions fam. Woo! And good morning to you too. Moonscar, but overreacting and Dan getting irritated reading all that. It happens, man. It happens. See, Gary, good morning all. Grip for life, exclamation point. I don't always get on in the morning or weekends. Just have to say, one hell of a win, boys. Woo! What a game. Monty is my new hero, laughing out loud. They are number 1. Yes, the Lions are, man. And it was hard for me to not put them higher in my rankings. I had them at number 4, but really, you could make them probably number 3. I just didn't want them to yet supersede Kansas City or Minnesota because both, to be respectful to they're both being 4-0. All right, Dennis, Hex, yes, Gary, I'll go with that. Alan, I was in Ecuador for 2 years. Only thing kept me sane was this channel. Hey, well, that's awesome, man. And what were you doing down in Ecuador? So hopefully you have a great one. And yeah, thanks for being a fan of the channel. Thanks for being in the morning chat too. That's pretty awesome. Dimitri, Detroit Tigers, let's go. Oh yeah, woo! Give me one, Dan. You want one? You know what the heck, man? Let's give you one. And there you got it. Dennis, go Tigers. Moonscar, yes, Broski, but all teams have injuries affecting their starting lineups now, including the Lions. Time to move on from that point. We've had several starters out also. Yes, and that's kind of my point, is if, don't try to, put down another team's win. Just like, like I said with the Bears. Nobody puts an asterisk next to you beating the Rams or beating Will Levis, throwing you the game. So I'm sure the Bears have guys out too. Big D, awesome, Alan. Glad you could be there for but yes, 100%. Now, hopefully you had a good time down there. Hopefully you had a real good time. And thanks for, again, being a fan of the channel. See, Michael, yeah, goodbye. You're one of them, broski. Okay. Amy, good morning. Dan and Duke, exclamation point. I think you dropped the Lions too much, Dan. Dropped the Lions. Well, it happens, man. I mean, again, I didn't want to boot out Kansas City or Minnesota because they were both 4-0. You could probably make an argument that they could be number 3 over the Ravens, but splitting hairs. Maybe next week they'll boost up even more. Who knows, man? One funky. And the Lions had backups on defense too. They also had backup at center and a backup at guard, and their starting tight end was playing on bum ankle. You argue with out including the facts. Get over it. Yeah, that's kind of where I'm at with it. It's not like the Lions are totally healthy. We just listed, I think, like 7 or 8 guys that were out for them. John, yeah, broski, we had 7 out. Correct. Let's see. Exit 8 Tigers are 1 win closer to a World Series. Ain't that something? Let that sink in. Kim, just ignore broski and he'll stop the nonsense. That's probably another thing to do. Trump's, how many snaps did Houston get? 14 is the answer. That's originally more than I anticipated watching the game live, but he did get 14, so maybe he is trending in that direction. Hookadoo, Lions, Tigers are definitely not the Bears. Roar Detroit, I'll go with that. Go with the Lions and the Tigers, definitely. Hey, man, that looked like whiskey and water, Coach. No, just a glass. It's just a glass of water. So no whiskey in the morning. Sorry, guys. Alan, Bears sucked. So do their fans. Maybe. Dennis, laughing out loud. Dr. Detroit, Goff was excellent. He was, man. Hard to do better than what he did. What funky. Branch, Davenport, and Barnes. Not to mention that if he was out, that's 4 important players. Your ignorance is amazing. Must be the fact that you are a Bears fan and you can't comprehend anything. That might also be contributing factors. Let's see. Bo, water in your whiskey. Sacrilege. There you go. John, lifetime ban on broski. We're not there yet, but he does need to learn to pay attention to the rules. Motown forgot Martin and Kaminsky. Funky, yeah, forgot them too. Forgot the man Derek Barnes. See, Broderick, yeah, there's a few guys I think he left out. Yeah, Emmanuel Mosley. Thank you, Dennis. Thank you. Forgot him too. Dr. Troy, why are you guys messing with broski? He's yesterday he just kind of went on a tangent about, hey, the Lions only won because Seattle had injuries. Yet, him sort of like the national media kind of forgets that the Lions have injuries too. Let's see, broski, Seattle had 4, Lions had 4 out on D. That's true. Thank you for that, Motown Mitch. Dr. Troy, picking on mentally challenged people is not cool. I see what you did there. Let's see, Trump's bear is living rent-free in some heads, kind of like Trump's, yes, I'll go with that syndrome. Dr. Troy, what up, broski? There you go. One funky. Martin hasn't proven to be important yet, and the commits was out before the year started. He would be in there. But yeah, they are MIA as well. Yes, correct. And Bet Broski leaves after we beat the Bears 50-0 on Thanksgiving. I'd say there's probably corroborating evidence for that. See, Chuck E. Cheese, morning, Coach and Duke Crew. Lions looked great. Go Tigers, 100%. Good to see you, Chuck E. Cheese. Amy, okay, Dan, I hear defensive rankings and thought you were for team rankings. So you didn't drop us too far. No, not at all. Yeah, again, I probably should have reiterated that more during the defensive rankings. And again, next week I'll have offensive rankings. One funky, in your opinion, Barnes is definitely the starting Sam. Dingbat. Yeah, he is. He is indeed, 100%. See, Jameer, we need a pass rusher. I would agree. If we could get somebody without, selling the farm, remortgaging the house, whatever kind of analogy you want to use, it probably would not be a bad idea. T-Bones Lokes, we got to understand that the QBR is based on a minimum of 20 attempts. 18 out of 20 would have given him the max rating. Yeah, ain't that something? You got to throw 2 more passes, which, it is what it is, I guess. Let's see, Dennis, hi, get Yanni for your defensive end is fixed. There we go. We'll see if they can do that. See, one funky, the Lions have been using 3 linebackers more than any other team in the league this year. You don't know what you're talking about. Stop it. Yeah, they have. And I know I talked about it yesterday. I thought Jack Campbell, that might have been maybe not his best game, but it's really up there. He seems like he's becoming more and more consistent. Rodrigo, he seems to be one of the most valuable backup linebackers in the entire league. He's really a great performer. And to be honest, I'm surprised he's not a starter to some degree. But Derek Barnes does some real good stuff. Alex Anzalone does some good stuff. Lions have some good linebackers out there. One funky, and when do they go nickel? Barnes has even put his hand in the dirt as a pass rusher. Yeah, he's been one of them for sure. Literally, you have no idea what you're talking about. Correct. Let's see, Bo, I don't get too hung up on who's the starter. It's all about rotation. I agree with you there, as always, my friend. See, the Trim Reaper, Brad Holmes should get Hutch some help. Good morning, coach and do crew. Woo! And I wonder if it'll happen, but maybe the coaching staff says now we're good with things, and they just decide not to. See, Mozart, yeah, Phil, Dan still sees the comments. I do until he gets put in pause or whatever, then everything leaves. Like I pointed out, yes, Moonscar Blade. Allen, Bears were given 2 games. They stink. Will not win another game. They are not good. That is quite possible. Phil, here we go. One funky, good grief. Just because the TV post is stating lineup that says this guy is the starter, it doesn't mean anything unless you are a simpleton. Barnes is the starting Sam in the base defense. He is 100%, and he's done a great job. And like you pointed out, or I think it was you, One Funky, on passing downs or clear passing downs, when they go more to their nickel package or dime package, they do tend to move Barnes to the opposite end spot of Hutchinson. See, Hookadoo, Moonscar, I have tried deleting my comment before, and the chat doesn't seem see it, but Dan still does. It is possible, yes. Let's see, Pitts, what do you got? Greetings, salutations. Thank you, Dan, for getting him straight. The Lions are a great team now, so go Lions. Woo! And hey, glad I could help out, my friend. Glad to help out. The non-laughers, I like Sheila's woo because it is the cackle at the end of her woo. You know what? Just for you, just because you like it. And I get to clear my throat while she's doing that. So there's that too. It's Detroit D. Broski Bear is an undercover Lions superfan. That might be true, man. I mean, Broski, I like Broski. He's a good dude, but he just, again, gets on his tangents. But he's in here a lot, so you got to go with that too. All right, Bo, bidding wars for a guy Brand Holmes makes a play for someone and gets outbid. If someone is available and is good, teams are going to make a play for them. It's the marketplace. 100%. I'd say you're spot on there. See, Alan, get out of here, bro. Tired of your stuff. Yes, tired of his stuff. See, Dimitri, the NFL hates Detroit. I would agree with that. Shake your head. Yeah, I've done a couple different stories, breakdowns on it, and why I think that's the case. You guys can always check them out in time. Let's see, Moonscar, Hookadoo, me too, man. If Dan puts you in timeout, then he doesn't see your comments, but only him. Yes, correct. You guys don't see him, I do. See, Phil, now I'm the bad guy. I don't think so, not at all. Why do you think that? Let's see, Bo, I meant Houston is on the right side of the defense, left side of the offense. I thought he had more success on the other side. Yeah, they might keep moving around. Maybe they're doing that because of his injury, trying to not have him put so much, stress on it. That's just me being totally speculative, though. Chuck E. Cheese, Houston had a stupid penalty. He did indeed. Bo, he had 2 chuckles. No argument there. Correct. See, Hookadoo, Phil, you're not the bad guy. It's the one who can't keep his mouth shut and thinks about what he's talking about in the Lions Den. Correct. Phil, thumbing up. Let's see, Chuck E. Cheese, hate to see how you react to after the Bears play a teal and aggressive defense. There you go. We'll have to see how that goes in upcoming weeks here for the Bears. Southwest Broski Bear on suicide watch. Let's hope not. Let's hope he's not at that level. Vape, good morning, Coach Dan and the Duke Crew. Next victim is Dallas. Detroit better score early and often since Jerry Jones is still paying the refs, and they proved it against the Giants. That might be true. You might want to put a whole lot of pressure on him. And Trim Reaper, Adams to Detroit, question mark. That would be insane. Yeah, and I'm just not sure if we could fit him in here. But you never know, man. He seems like a good dude. Phil, which side did Houston play? Yes, correct. I think, he just had that in the comment section. Phil, Mahogany, he'll be eligible. That's correct. To come back, I want to say this week, if I'm not mistaken, from the NFI. So, he could be activated, which means somebody's going to have to go. Broski, Dan's literally reading my comments 40 minutes later. Just a suggestion, try keeping up with the live chat a little better. Would benefit everyone also. Yeah, this can't be the real Broski because I already put him in timeout. So unless he just has a second account, it's got to be the fake Broski. Let's see. Amy, hey, Dan, did Goff report? Laughing out loud. We'll have to find out. See, Trump's Bear, the problem is people start writing questions a half hour before the show starts. That's correct, and I've got to spend a little time catching on up. Shaft, Kreisky Bear is still crying. Might be, maybe. Trumps shouldn't allow questions to be posted until you start taking the comments. Yeah, and maybe I could do that at some point, just not there yet. See, Shaft, Broski needs a tampon. Could be. A-Vape, love going out to the whole Duke Crew family from from Southwest Missouri. Go Lions, Super Bowl winners against KC. Mahomes has never beat Goff and never will. Woo! This is true. He has never beat Jared Goff. And I've got to imagine both teams facing the Super Bowl. You're going to hear that the entire 2 weeks leading up to the Super Bowl. Phil, teams are fearing Campbell. He hits like a train. Yeah, you could see, as big as DK Metcalf is, when he took that hit from Campbell, you could see from one shoulder to the other, the wave of energy going through, which caused the fumble. Good call on that, Phil. Bo, Duke Crew assemble is in the morning before Coach goes live. He already settled that question. Yes, correct. And I don't have a problem with it. See, Trumps, I thought it was going to be a moderator. We might have to, yes, at some point in the future, possibly. Well, one never knows. I'll just say that. Thomas, Adams to the Jets, smash that like y'all. It could happen. Yeah, getting him back with Rodgers. That would probably help the Jets quite a bit. Broski, have a great day, everyone. Same to you, Broski Bear, if that's the real Broski Bear. Moonscar, no, Dan, that's the real Broski. Timeout only lasts 5 minutes. Okay. Hey, well, Broski, thank you for taking a moment of pause and a deep breath. Thank you, sir. Thank you very much. All right, let's see. Chuck E. Cheese, Broski is passionate. Got to give him that, but it's the wrong team to bash on. Yeah, 100%. And Broski's great dude, fun-loving dude. Just, hey, sometimes his fandom may get the best of him. Hey, Vape Broski Bear, you too. Yeah, have a great day, everybody. One Funky, Dan is 8 right now. You got caught up by the end. No need to change the show. Correct. Thank you for that. Let's see, Broski Bear, I give in. Seriously, Looms look like contenders. All right, yes, the Lions do look like contenders. I agree with you on that one. See, Moonscar, until tomorrow, dawn, y'all. Hunters, go get your buck before the next Lions game. There you go. Pitts, Green Sanitations, go Tigers, go great, 100%. Hope they do well. See, Patrick, I see Cliff Averill and Golden Tate was at the game Monday to honor Megatron. That's awesome. Yes. Brooks Bear, but Jack Campbell, I don't think so, man. I think he's playing pretty dang well. Bo Booth, happy trails, y'all. Undone Dustin. See y'all tomorrow. All right, guys, I'll go ahead and get out of here. Let you guys get on with your day. If you haven't yet subscribed to Lions Talk Live, please consider doing so. Also, if you would, hit that thumbs up, that like button. Helps the channel out exponentially. If there is breaking news today, I'll get it to you as soon as possible. Otherwise, take care. Enjoy your day. Do something nice for somebody you don't know. Have a great day. See you on the next Lions Talk Live. Take care, all.
Happy trails to you until